Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, Mr. David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and honor of the infinite creator. And I continue to pray that each and every day that each and every one of you will accept and receive the healing, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the benefits of the universe. So with that, let's start this discussion. Now, yesterday I did a video and it pertained to was talking about our spiritual beliefs, and that there are folks in other communities and other places that don't understand us, and therefore they want to put us in a cult. I did a video earlier today concerning the challenge of the shaman thing, and I described it in that, but that many people don't understand what a true shaman is. Hi, Chloe, blessings. um And in the conversation yesterday, I focused way too much on the cult aspect of this, but it sort of, in the response and in one of the comments, it sort of proved my point, in that somebody thinks that a shaman is somebody who's, wants to control the weather or the earth, or the something, and it's the wrong impression. And so we need to set things straight, and make sure that people understand. Listen, my friends, it's not about that, please. So, but to follow up on the video I did yesterday about our belief system, our spirit, and whether or not, we know we're not a cult, but to those folks, we are. And in that, we seem to be sort of, we're the mental anarchists, because we have decided to take religion out of our spirituality. We're still spiritual beings, but we see that we see through the lies, and through the veil, as you if you will, which is the revelation, by the way, of the Bible. It's the lifting of the veil, and for us to see what's actually going on around us. And so now that we can see it, many of us, we can't go back. There's no way I can go backwards in this and go, well, I'm not going to believe that anymore. It can't happen. So I want to talk about belief, because if you don't believe in yourself, who are you going to believe in? Now, we let me state this very clearly. I'm not talking about any type of narcissistic behavior, because the awareness of self includes understanding what it is to be humble in your awareness. And for a long time, I wouldn't even speak about some of the things I'm speaking freely about now, but I understand that my mission is more clear now. But in the past, I was very hesitant because, I was already considered pretty much crazy and a hermit and down here in the woods and etc. I've had my years of folks around here thinking I'm the oddball out, which, okay, that's okay. Um, but the thing is, I'm still here. I don't hurt anybody. I try to lend a hand whenever possible. And so I'm respected for that, even though I'm the oddball in the neighborhood. Okay. But down here in the South, anyway. But with that said, though, but in our spiritual beings with ourselves, we need to be confident that, listen, I know that there's a higher spirit. Okay, there you go. I know that I don't really want to hurt anybody. There's a good start. I'm being honest about this. I'm not, I know it might sound a little, playful here, but to the point, I'm being serious. Do you wish peace in the world? Yes. Okay. You're on our team. Do you wish that, folks would stop killing each other? Yeah. Okay. You're on our side. You're part of that league of like-minded beings. But so that is part of your core belief. So, and if you truly believe it, then nothing anybody says is going to shake you from your core belief. You believe it wholeheartedly with your soul and your spirit and your body. I mean, because that's part of it. So when you start taking care of your body better, then your spirit kind of tags along and goes, "Ooh, I feel better too." And a lot of other things, awareness and other things come about that will make you understand. I mean, make you understand. And I mean, I'm going to repeat, make you understand when you reach these certain points that, oh my gosh, I really do believe in these core values, because you see proof coming your way. And it's the proof that makes you believe. So if you do good things and good things come back, and you have to do them without expectation, that's part of the deal. But if you're doing things and your core value is such, even if it doesn't come in all the time, like I thought for quite a while, and nobody's getting in touch with me. And then I find out later on, have been secretly wondering, I hope he's okay. Haven't heard from him in a while. Wonder if Dave's dead. We haven't heard from him. Is Hawkeye okay? Because I'd been silent for so long. Computer issues, other issues, and I just didn't see the need at the time, quite frankly. But then I found out later on that people were like, well, we kind of missed your videos on Facebook. And what? So it was like, you did? Yeah, well, I secretly listened in. I didn't like it or anything. I didn't want any of my friends to know that I've been listening to your crazy ass. But yeah, I've been listening. And I go, seriously? Really? Oh, so there's people in the background I didn't think cared or listened or whatever. Come to find out they were. So you never know who's paying attention simply because they're lurking in the background or don't want their presence known to you for whatever reason. So you say, well, maybe I'm not making any effect, or maybe my changes in my spiritualness isn't having an effect. I guarantee it may take a while for somebody to actually say something, but if you've changed their behavior to the good, and you have modified how you speak, how you dress, how you look to fit the occasion. I don't mean, trust me, I don't mean to change for every person, but present yourself in a way that is acceptable with them or more acceptable. It's just being polite, okay? And we've lost politeness in this world. Oh, I tell you, my goodness gracious. So, and I part of my brain wants to go back to the comment earlier today about last night's video, but I digress. I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forward with this. But it has to do with the belief. So it's an understanding, like, the things that I've seen. I saw one spacecraft blow up another one. They both disappeared. I mean, you can't take that away from me. Now, I can't prove it, but I saw it with my own two eyes. I've seen certain things. I've shared things with you all as much as I could with orbs and different fairy pictures and so forth to show you that there is another realm and other existences out there. Now, can I make you believe? No, but I'm going to show as much proof as I've been able to see that I'm going to share with you. So whether you wish to believe me or not is your choice. But I'm here to say, hey, there's other things in reality that we may not see or understand that may actually be there. And so the more of us, this is an awareness issue. So when you become aware that, oh my God, they may exist, and then when you take a picture right in front of yourself and look down and go, holy crap, there's hundreds of these orbs all around me, then you kind of get this thing, oh wow, maybe there really is something to these other realms and other beings and other things. It's an awareness that no matter who or what comes up to me and tries to change my mind, can't undo it. I'm sorry. I can't undo what I've already learned. So that is my belief. But the more I understand, I've seen these things. I've taken pictures of them. So of course I believe. And when you believe in your core in them, and you know that I know myself that my intent is always in a positive way, although I may sound a little cranky at times. I realize that I don't want to put any negative energy out into the universe at all. So when you raise your self-awareness to these things and you understand, when you understand it, it means you believe it, you get it, it's in your soul, and it's little increments at a time, but sometimes these little grains of sand end up being a beach. Sunny beach. Oh my God. I never had I never dreamed that I could see things in a different light, or my awareness would be so expansive that I may not understand it all, but I can see that it is at least possible. That's the key. It may be possible. So, but what is your belief? Now I'm not here to answer that for each and every one of you or for folks out there. But if you're confident with what you've seen, you feel, can't nobody take that away from you. Now, there are folks who are being fooled by some of the things that they're doing, and it's sort of a fake faux kind of belief. They think they know what they're doing, they think they understand, and some of them have convinced themselves that they do, when actually they're actually in a big loop and they keep going rehashing the same information over and over and over again. And until you realize that, wait a minute, I may be repeating myself, then you don't really have a true sense of self awareness. Because even when I first started doing these YouTube videos, I was repeating myself constantly, and I have to be aware of that. And I'll say to you, I said, well, here I go repeating myself again, but this is important. And sometimes I'm just repeating myself and I'm not paying attention. But so I must be aware of, I wish to not repeat myself so much. So I must become aware of it. So in spirituality, it's the same way. If somebody, if something, someone, somebody, whatever, maybe it's a place that's like messing with us, don't go there. Or if you do, make sure that you're armed and you're ready when you go there. If you have to go visit somebody, or it's your child's friend's mother or something, you have to interact with them for your child's sake, or then do so. But if you go in with a different attitude, well, I hate this person, they annoy me, then you're annoyed before you ever get there. You dread going to the front door. You hate dropping your child off. And I've done it. We've done it. I bet you have too at some point. Maybe not with a child, but oh God, I dread going to see this person, and it ain't the doctor. But anyway, but the idea though that if we go to it, well, like, this person has the tendency to annoy me versus they do. So you change first how you view it. This person has a tendency to piss me off or annoy me. So when you use the word tendency, not maybe every time. So you're presenting your own self with an out. Maybe this time they won't annoy me. What? Yeah, maybe this time they won't annoy me. If you change your own attitude towards the person and say, I don't care what they say, they're not going to annoy me, they can't. That's your core belief. That's your own self awareness. That's your power. That's your natural given power for us to either overreact, not react, or react in a positive way, even in a negative situation. Now, the really true, like, holy crap scenario is when Jesus was being nailed on the cross and he looked up and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, I think we could tolerate somebody that has a tendency to grate on our nerves. But if we go in with the thought that this person's not going to grate on my nerves, they're going to try. And maybe I was allowing it. Maybe I was reading them the wrong way. It's not that it's our fault, but maybe it's our fault that we didn't control the situation correctly. Maybe it's up to us to not be um, irritated by a person or a situation. You see, we have a choice. So, and when you're armed with your own beliefs, when you trust in yourself with the knowledge that you've already acquired and you continue to acquire, then you can say, this person's not going to annoy me. I'm not going to let him get to me. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to be strong. I'm going to be myself. And if they say something, I'll just say, well, that's nice, and leave it, not try to start an art and back away. And we have a choice. And you don't think that other person's their reaction is going to be, wait a minute, I usually annoy the crap out of that person. They didn't get annoyed. What's wrong? They're going to notice the change. And so when they expect a reaction from you and you don't give it, you've changed the dynamics. You've changed the paradigm of things. oh my God, how powerful we are in our individuality. Oh, holy crap. But we have to believe it. Now, it's got to be with good intent and all this stuff. Now, I don't want to go back over that and repeat myself. I'm aware of that. Just want to point that out. But to the point, though, that we must establish these core values, trust them and believe them. Be sure of yourself, and catch yourself. Be aware they're trying to piss me off. I ain't buying it, you know, and be calm about it. Oh my God, the strength and what it will give you in return is just amazing. It's a powerful thing. And but with that, you have to trust yourself. It's all about it. You have to be honest with yourself. Maybe I'm the one maybe I said a trigger word and pissed them off and they got started on a tirade. And maybe that's true. But we have to be honest with ourselves. Have you noticed every time you say a particular phrase, these people go bonkers? Then don't do it. And I'm guilty of that in the past. But through this, I have to say, wait a minute, dang, I didn't need to say that, did I? And had I not said that word or phrase, because shit used to just jump out of my mouth all the time, and without really paying attention to what I was saying, and then after it comes out, it's hard to take that mess back. So I learned to hesitate and go, which gives my tiny little brain a chance to process it and maybe not say something so drastic as to like, I think you're a pile of crap. I want to, wash you down with a hose. But you go, wow, that's interesting. Let me think about this. And I learned this in public speaking. So if there's a pause and you're trying to collect your thoughts, you don't just stand there silent like an idiot. You throw in an idiotic phrase like, well, that's interesting. Let me think about this. And I've had a rough day, and maybe I don't quite understand what you're saying. You throw something in there that ain't going to hurt anybody's feelings, but it gives your brain a chance to pause before you stick your foot in your mouth. In my case, all the time. I was all the time wiping mud and crap out of my mouth for sticking my foot in it. But so when you understand that, when you trust yourself, when you have your belief, and and I'm stressing non-narcissistic kind of crap now. If somebody comes in the room and says, "Look, I'm the greatest, y'all listen to me," I'm leaving. I'm going out the back door, or I might walk right by him and go, "Oh, really?" and just walk right by. That'd be my 2 cents worth. But to the point though, humbleness is always, and it's a very difficult at times to be able to try to help people. At the same time, I want to say, listen, y'all, you pay attention. This is really important, but I can't do that. I have to go, you know what? There's different ways of looking at this. And I bring up different topics, and sometimes I repeat myself. But it's important to have these discussions, because sometimes there might be somebody out there that listens and goes, I think I heard him say that before, but I didn't get it until now. So sometimes repetition ain't a bad thing, but I try my best not to do it. Anyway, moving on. We have to trust ourselves. But with that trust comes 100.1% honesty. If you can't be honest with yourself, then how can you be honest with somebody else? If you can't be honestly, brutally, truthfully, with yourself, don't go out in public, because it's going to show. And if you're trying to portray that you are trying to change as a person, it's a spiritual being, and you're trying, in my case, I was very loud and boisterous and interrupted at times that it was inappropriate. Even though I might have been right, that's not the point. It was rude. It was disrespectful at times. And I didn't honor the people who were there. I didn't respect them for who they were, because I thought they were a bunch of blithering idiots. Because if they knew what they were talking about, they wouldn't have said what they said. But I had to learn to hold my tongue in, directors' meetings and stuff like that, when people who've never worked in theater try to tell you how to set lights. And I've been doing this for 20 years. and working in the same theater building for 20 years, help build the theater, and they're trying to tell me how to light a show. Sorry, but I got to speak up. But in instances like that, even then, I'd let them run their mouth and go, okay, well, you don't know what you're doing, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then somebody else would go up to him and go, do you know he's been doing this for the last 25 years? We've actually hired him to like set the lights because he's so good at it. Maybe you should go apologize to him and ask him to help you with your lighting situation. So by my being quiet, others took my defense, which was surprising. So you never know. But had I spoke up for myself, then it'd be like, well, he's trying. Look how narcissistic he is. And if I know what I'm talking about. I know what I mean by lighting, and I know that that's not going to work. But okay. So, but by keeping quiet, people go, you know what? I thought this would work, and it don't. Can you help me out? Now, I'll let them go for 2 weeks and bumble, stumble, and break a light if it needs to be. But when they prove to themselves that maybe I should have listened to someone with 20 or 30 years worth of experience, that maybe they were right. But I didn't have to go over and tell them or beat them over the head. I'd go, wow, that's interesting. Y'all having trouble up there setting them lights? Well, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Well, hope you be safe up there. Make sure you tighten the light down on the light bar. Make sure you put the gels in. Make sure you got it. Well, okay, but I never told them what to do. Just said, be careful. You sure you know what you're doing? Yeah, we knew. Okay, bye, and leave them alone. But because sometimes the only way folks can learn, you try to tell them that they're doing something wrong, they don't get it. When they find out they're doing something wrong and they got stuck, then that's when you can step in and go, are you having trouble there? Well, but by being humble and in your own spirit. So humbleness of spirit, you can walk up to somebody who's crying and you can just sit down and go, I see you're having a bad day. I just want you to know that there are people in this world, all over this world, that are having bad days. And it doesn't have to be as bad. Well, just give comfort. And to say, I'm here, even if it's a stranger. You need a hug? Can I help in any way? You never know when sometimes just a kind word will just absolutely save someone's life, their soul, their day, whatever. But if you don't pay attention to these things in life, then how are you going to know whether or not you can make have an effect? How do you know that you can actually do more good than just wandering through life and not really caring and looking, well, I'll be happy and go lucky and I'll be good over here. But is that really all there is to it? Can you say something nice to somebody? Can you pick a time? Can you do something? Is there something? Because the more we try to expand our own horizons and awareness, the more we help others, it sinks into us even deeper. Now, I don't mean that every day and you should go broke. I mean, but do you help anyone ever? And I don't necessarily mean you folk, but the general populace, do they ever help anybody else? Well, we can continue to pray for these folk, and we can continue to hope. Yes, hopium. I'm sorry, these folks that are lambasting this idea of hopium. If we don't have hope in our hearts that tomorrow could be a better day, then screw it, right? Let's all just party and be merry and to hell with it. No, can't go there, can't do that. Because I hope that tomorrow I'll be able to get up and it'll be sunshine and I'll be able to get some more wood cut. I'll be able to go down in the woods and finish my journey that I was doing and reclaiming the circle from the woods down here and putting in a medicine wheel and and going further with that. So it's but I realized that a little bit at a time and to get things done. I got some wood cut and things out of the way down there in the woods today, so I got part of it done. So tomorrow, I've got that part done. I can move down to the woods where I can start clearing out the area to put the medicine wheel. That seems to be very important. And so, and I'll be having a discussion about medicine wheels at a future date here. So, kind of sort of look forward to that. Seems like my plate is being filled with some of these other things that honestly need to be discussed. Because if you don't believe in yourself, or believe in the creator, or believe in the universe, I've had this discussion 2 or 3 years ago, and I bring it up periodically. There was a time in my life when I understood a lot of this stuff, but I didn't fully believe it. And I didn't fully believe it in myself. And I was like 98% there. But that 2% kept me from understanding the rest of it. And I still don't have it all. But the amount of when I finally said, yep, it's 100% I believe, oh, wow, then things just made sense because I believed it. I wasn't hesitating. So you have to find that own spot in your own self, but it's there. And regardless of the religion, regardless of what people say about the cult or this, or, my discussions about shamanism, I've always stated that I am a shaman in training. Never have I said I am a shaman. And because my understanding of shamanism is you never stop learning. So with that said, I'm always in training. So for those of you who have been on this channel for a while, you kind of already know that. And somebody new to this channel would not understand that if I didn't periodically kind of throw that into the conversation. But with that, it's important though that every person that is trying to become a better spiritually is a shaman in training. That's whether they want to believe it or not, it's fact. Just like those of us who believe this, believe our core values of this, we belong to the League of Like-Minded Beings. We just are. Because when you realize what's in the universe, you're already part of the crowd. You don't have to join. Being aware of it makes you're already there. So there's all these millions and billions of people around. If they just stop to be aware of the fact that, wait a minute, we already belong to a club, if you will. It's the League of Like-Minded Beings. Oh, holy crap. And it doesn't cost anything. I don't have to give anything except my goodwill, my good intent, and a positive thought and a prayer once in a while. Oh, holy crap. You mean it's always there? Oh, but do you believe it? How much do you believe? And I can't answer that. Not asking you to give me the answer, because the answer, um, somebody just said, thank you for your wonderful knowledge. I can't read it. Anyway, you're absolutely welcome. It is my duty to share this knowledge because I want us all to go party with Bob and have coffee when this is all over. Do you know what I'm saying? Bob, I love you out there. And here's some cold coffee, but my coffee is usually cold. So cheers. And to the silent 72 plus, we all have angel duties to do. You think, well, my life is not very important. Well, if you say so. And I used to believe that as well. My life isn't very important. Well, it's because I made it that way. I made it so that my life wasn't important to anybody. I made that choice. And then when Mother Mary and Sister Helene appeared in my living room and said, you can't do that anymore. Then I started doing this YouTube channel and started talking about spiritualism. And I understood then they were absolutely right. Oh, holy crap. It is my duty to try to share this because as a shaman, I want us all to go. I don't think there's anybody that gets chosen out of this, like you're going to go and I'm not, or I'm going to go and you're not. I don't agree with that. I think we're all have the capability of moving into this higher realm. But do you believe it? And how much do you believe? How, and what I mean by how much inside, do you and your spirit have an agreement? Yep, I believe this. Yes, I'm a part of the universe. Yes, I absolutely want better intent. Yes, I do want peace in the world. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm repeating myself again, but these core values are important. If you are consistent with your belief, and it hasn't changed for a while, then maybe you're pretty much there because you have confidence within yourself. So as you have confidence, that builds your own self-trust. Well, I can trust this feeling now because I've had a little practice at it. I brought this up in a couple of videos earlier today and yesterday, but I'm still like having trouble believing this. I was talking about, I was, using a hammer and a chisel, and I realized that I was doing this thing and not looking at the hammer or the chisel, and I'm just whacking at this thing. And I told Breaking Dawn, I said, I still can't get over that. I was watching myself do this, just beating the crap, and I should have hit my hand a dozen times, and I didn't. That's the awareness of when you allow your brain to know this hand knows where this hand is, and it knows it don't want to hit the other one. And so it is an awareness and a trust within your own belief system. And I believe that my right hand knows where the hell my left hand is, and it don't want to smack it. But I know I keep going back over that, but it's still amazing to me. And I was whacking this thing pretty good. Um, So if you think that you've learned everything or there's nothing else to learn, or well, maybe I've got enough information. The more you believe in your core self, and I mean it must be 100.1%. It's got to be a tad over 100%. 99.9 don't work. It does not work. Tried it. It doesn't work. You must believe. Now, that isn't, some creator, something, some God, some deity. It ain't about that. It's understanding that you are a spiritual being in this universe. Do you believe that? Yes or no? Answer yes. Cheers. You're a lot further along than other people because other people think that the only way they can understand spiritualism is to go through some kind of religion. But if you realize that you're a part of this universe every time you go out and look up at the sky, clouds, and let's forget the fake clouds up there, but the clouds, the sun, the moon, the stars, the ocean, pick a spot. It's part of our world. It's part of this universe. And how glorious it is to watch the sun go down. Oh my God. And it comes up in a few hours. Oh my God, we can kind of plan on this, sunup's going to be at such and such a time. The ancients, they say, well, those folks believed and they worshiped the sun. Eh, they were giving thanks to the sun. Thank you, Jesus. The sun came up today. Our crops are going to grow. So because they didn't understand the true mechanics of the universe, maybe they did. But this idea of worship, white people have thrown that in there. Okay. As the shamans and the people and the native peoples that I've met, different tribes from South America, Mexico, other places, and other tribes across this nation and Canada, that I have met and spoke with and conversed with and shared time with, etc. These folks have an understanding of the universe, whether they look in a telescope or not. And it's a higher realm of understanding. And you look at them and go, well, it doesn't matter how fast the earth turns, it's that it does. And that we give thanks to the universe that the planet don't stop and we all fall off or we burn up or one side gets fried and the other one don't. I mean, we give thanks to the universe. Giving thanks is not worship. And so when I talked with these people, it's all about honoring the universe. Now, Those of us have understood even deeper things like Mother Earth actually is an entity. Yes, Mother Earth is an entity, okay? A big entity, but she is, as is many other planets and systems and things in the universe. Okay. But when we understand that, wait a minute, let's give honor and respect, then you give honor and respect to the universe and to all other beings and other things. Well, these don't really exist. Okay, Hawkeye, I'm really just worried about time on this planet and this realm. Okay. So, but can you believe that up the stars up in the sky, that is our universe, whether it's a flat Earth, round Earth, spinning or not, but it's up there and it's amazing. Can we agree with that? Okay. So we can take the basic things. It's amazing. Can we just say thank you for the stars in the sky because they're amazing to look at on a clear night? Does it have to be anything more involved in that? But by giving a positive back to the universe, it has a positive effect on the universe. We look up and go, that's nice. We don't care. Yeah, the stars are out. Yeah. Well, there's the moon. Yeah, okay. But if we go out and say, what a beautiful moon, thank you for this beautiful moon tonight. What's wrong with that? Are we worshiping anybody? Is there any God involved in this? But with our own spirit, with our own soul, with our own energy, which is a part of all the rest of this, we are giving honor to the things around us. And when we honor things around us, honor comes back. You must give respect in order to get respect. If you think you just deserve to be respected, eh, you must earn respect. And the best way to earn respect is to be respectful. If some young man comes into a place and goes, good afternoon, sir, talking to the person behind the counter. May I have, directions to the local whatever, please? Wait a minute. Some other person comes in and goes up the corner. Yo, dude, tell me how to get the umpty scrunch, damn it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who's going to get noticed first? The person who comes in and says, excuse me, sir. Well, that's respect right there. Whether it's the person is higher or lower, but you're coming into a situation where it's someone behind a counter. They have a certain amount of authority because and they're a business owner or at least working there. So, sir or madam, ma'am, I don't care if it's a 20-year-old girl. I'm 67. Ma'am, can you help me? What? Well, you don't have to call me ma'am. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to be polite here. And sometimes polite just gets tore up and shoved down your throat, but that's for another topic, another show. But with this, though, belief, all of this has to do with what do you believe? How hard do you believe it? Can you honestly say, you know what? If somebody comes up and for somebody to change my mind, they're going to have to give me some really good concrete evidence, not just some hypothesis. Okay, because the things that I have witnessed and experienced, sorry, I talk to some of these people and I go, well, yeah, it's like this. Well, have you ever been on a river and freezing to death? How do you know what hypothermia is? I've been hypothermic 4 times in my life, damn near died one time. I mean, really damn near died from freezing to death. And you tell me, well, it's all about this. Have you ever been that cold? Well, no. Well, then you don't know what I'm talking about. I don't mean to be rude, but if you've never experienced hypothermia, don't tell me how it feels. Don't try to explain it to me. I done been there, done that. Let me tell you how it feels because I've experienced it. So in that, am I being narcissistic? No, the guy that's trying to tell me what I've already experienced, how I'm supposed to have felt, or what the thing is, or what, and they don't have a clue. They just read it in a book or somebody told them a story, like the shaman comment. I challenge you to control the wind. Are you serious? Seriously? Are you serious? Okay. All right. But that topic needed to be discussed and clarified. If you're a shaman, it ain't about that. You must be a sorcerer or a sorceress or something like that if you wish to try to control anything, because that's against the shaman's rule. But anyway, on with the belief. So, but you must be concrete within yourself. In other words, I'm always open to ideas. Well, that's interesting. But if somebody's talking out their rear end about something that I've experienced or have gone through, um, I had somebody try to tell me about prison one time, and I was like, okay, so I listened to him ramble on about this stuff and everything, and about recidivism and all this other stuff, and I was like, ever been in prison? Well, no. Well, I have. What? And you're talking out your ass. What? You don't know what you're talking about. You've never been in a prison. You don't have a clue. You've listened to somebody. So you're trying to tell me who's been there, spent a year in under lock and key, never went outside, never had yard. I mean, under lock and key for a year, and you're trying to tell me you know what it's like and you understand. And I'm sorry, shut up. I will apologize ahead of time, but you got your head up your butt. So there are people who try to talk about like what they understand about shamanism, or they try to talk about medicinal plants, or they try to talk about, oh, I know how to split wood when they don't got a clue. Oh, I know how to fix a car when they don't even know what an oil filter is. You know what I'm saying? So some of this stuff is so ludicrous and beyond insanity, and in my personal opinion, I still have to step back and be humble about it and go, well, that's your opinion. So the comment today about shamans show you, I challenge you to control the wind. I no, I don't have to, because I'm not that what you perceive as that kind of a shaman. Shamans don't do that. So my response has been to, rather than get angry or mad, let's clarify this. And rather than beat the person up, I could say their name over and over and over again. That's not the point. The comments in the section you want to find out, then go read it. And okay. But to the point, though, the folks are wrong about it. That's what's up. So in this, I have my core belief. I have studied this, I have lived it. And until you live as a hermit, don't talk to me about you know what it is to be a hermit. No, you don't. Go live in the woods for a while. Be by yourself. Honestly, be by yourself for weeks and months on end. Trust me, you will learn a few things about yourself and about the world. But if you don't do it, then don't talk to the rest of us who have experienced it. Please, you don't have a clue until you tried it. Now, does it mean that you must become a hermit in order to achieve a higher spiritual realm? No. It helps to understand, because what it means is you've spent a lot of time with yours truly, yourself, and you don't have any outside influence, and you got to work that shit out for yourself, whatever it is. And you learn a few things if your journey is true. Now, I was my hermitage thing was self-imposed. Folks can come down here and visit, but I couldn't drive at the time. I was having issues, and so I couldn't go anywhere. And I didn't really want to go anywhere, to be honest. There was nothing that really like, wow, I want to go visit this person, because all they were going to do is give me shit about, well, you quit going to the doctor. Well, yeah, haven't been to the doctor in, well, going on 3 years. And I was, if I didn't take my blood pressure medicine, I was going to be dead by now. I'm not dead yet. And all these other meds. Well, what about this? And I worked through that. So did I need the doctor all those 20 years? Up to a point I did. But then I realized, you know what? There's more to this. I was depending. I was using this as a crap. I'm going to the doctor because I don't understand I'm going to mental health because I don't understand what's going on with my head and what these freaky things are. So I must have to take a pill, because I was listening to society tell me this is how you fix your problem. Actually, when I let everybody go and I had time with myself to heal and think and process, go kayaking on my own, go into wilderness areas on my own, and come out and not be dead and go, wow, all those stuff they told me. Well, you can't go kayaking by yourself. What if something happens? Well, stuff did happen. I still got out. I didn't want anything to happen, and I'm always careful, but that's not the point. Stuff happens. So you just do the best you can. You make sure that you have enough information, like preppers. You can have all the fancy gear, but if you don't know how to like just do basic things, fancy gear ain't going to save you. What if a tornado comes and hits your prepper house and destroys all your your really valuable prepper stuff? Then what you going to do? Can you be inventive? Can you take a bunch of two by fours and scraps and build you a little lean-to shelter until better accommodations or until you get over whatever, you know, weather thing has gone on? Do you know how to, do this? Can you survive over, there are some things that with all the preparation that you may make, until a situation arises, you don't have a clue how you're going to react. You can train for it, you can but until you are in the situation, you have no idea how you're going to react. You can sort of propose how you may react, but like several years ago, I went into town and on the way home, there was a truck that was on fire, and we pulled the gentleman out, and he had lost his leg. And I was treating him for shock, me and my friend Tim, and we pulled a man from a burning vehicle at like 1:34 in the morning, pulled him from a burning vehicle, lost his leg. We had to deal with it. And I mean, I looked down and there's this guy and he's missing his leg from the knee down. And you talk about not overreacting, throwing up or whatever. We helped to save this man's life. We didn't get anything for it, except I know he's still living. I know that his daughter appreciates it. And because I've known people, but the thing is that I never knew that spirit was ever asked me. And I left the warm house, went into town, and came back. And the reason I went to town was because I listened to my spirit guide and said, "You're going to be needed." Went to town, hung around for a while. The was at my friend Marcia's house. The nobody was in the kitchen, but the timer kept going off and flashing these numbers. And the third time it happened, my friend said, "I think you better go." And I said, "Yeah, but I don't know why." When we got to this place out in the country, there was this burning vehicle with the man inside who had lost his leg. We saved his life and I was listening to my spirit guide. From out of nowhere, we went and did this thing and came back home. On the way home, we were presented with this problem and we dealt with it. And we saved a man's life. Didn't save his leg. And I didn't freak out. I'm holding on to his bloody stump while we're trying to wrap it. And the EMTs finally got there, and they were like, "Man, you did a good job treating this guy for shock." And Tim was in the Navy. I was a Boy Scout, had learned a lot of stuff about emergency treatment and things and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, but we had done the best we could to help this gentleman before the EMTs got there. So without our previous knowledge of of helping people with first aid and first responder and that kind of thing, we'd have got there and went, "Oh my God, there's a guy that's in a truck and he's burning," and the truck would have blown up and he would have been in it. So then what would you have done? You'd have stood there and watched in horror as a man burned to death live. No, can't do that. Sorry. Got to make a different choice. Other people who showed up much later saw part of it and they were like sick. They couldn't even help us. They were just so mortified. Oh, the leg and the car and the truck and the thing. And so bravery, stupidity, whatever. But my thing is that I had no idea. None. I was not trained, in my opinion, for having to deal with holding the stump of a man's leg. Yeah, didn't worry about gloves. I mean, the EMT looked at me and goes, "Don't you want to put on gloves?" And I'm like, "I've been handling this guy's blood. We pulled him over to the side of the road. I've been treating him for shock. It's a little late to put on plastic gloves when trying to save someone's life." But to the point though in this, and I'm not trying to like, oh, what a hero I was, although, saving somebody's life is but the thing is that I listened to my spirit guide. I listened to myself. I took the training and the knowledge that I had acquired, and a situation was presented, and we did the best we could, and it saved someone's life. So you say, well, I don't know. Maybe you're going to be called upon at some weird point in your life to do something, maybe not save somebody's life from a burning vehicle, but I didn't think that was going to happen to me either. And there's been other instances, not quite as graphic but it still saved a person's life. It still saved a soul from jumping off a bridge and this isn't about me. It's about what can we do. It is our belief. Do you believe that you could help someone? Do you have the faith in yourself and in the universe, in the creator, to say, you know what? I may be able to just reach out, if nothing more but than spiritually, to try to help someone, to extend myself beyond my own boundaries, to trust my own inner guide, to trust and believe in myself, because it's always, for me, it's always been to do the right thing. And if it was to do the wrong thing, there was always that gut feeling, like, and not because I was looking at a guy's leg cut off, but I mean, I wanted to throw up for the situation. And I don't mean that particular, but I mean, I've been in situations where it was gross in a sense that I'm ready to throw up. And I've held a man's leg, missing leg, and other instances were just people arguing or fussing, and it was nastier than holding a stump of a man's leg. I'm going, wow. Some things will make you puke, and others you find that you have more strength than you realize. You never know until you're called upon. The best we can do is be ready. The best we can do. When I saw the situation, I knew enough to get the guy out. I knew enough to treat him for shock, and I trusted myself, and so did Tim. We trusted each other in what we knew, even though we'd never worked together in that kind of situation. But because we'd both been trained in emergency type things, it came up. We worked together. We knew what the procedure was. Cover them up, do the thing, blah blah blah. I was ready to put a tourniquet on, and I realized that. But anyway, there are certain medical things, but we covered it all from our training. But Tim agrees. Neither one of us had ever trained for what we did that night. It was very unexpected, but we believed in what we could do, and we did it. Do you believe? How much do you believe? The more awareness you have, it will help you to believe even stronger. Not more, but stronger. So if somebody comes up and says, look, you're an idiot, and if you don't change your point of view or your thinking, I don't know, we're going to umpty scrunch you. Sorry, but if you're going to kill me, torture me, or whatever, I could lie to you and go, yeah, I believe in the flat earth. Okay, I believe in the flat earth. And secretly go, not really, but but to that point though, if everybody wants to go along with it, but what I know in my brain, what I know in my heart, I could lie to those people who wish me to lie to them. Do you believe in the flat earth? Oh, yes, sir, I do. Because I got a gun to your head and I'm going to blow your freaking brains out. I believe. Yes, sir. Not really. That might be something that's like, well, I know that's being a little absurd, but, there are times when it's like, do you believe in God? No, I don't. Good. I believe in the creator. What? Well, don't add that, Do you believe in God? Nope. You didn't ask me about my spirituality, though. Do I believe in the spirit, a higher spirit? Yeah. Do I believe in the creator? Yeah. Do I believe in the universe? Yeah. But don't answer that. Do you believe in a God? Nope. Sorry. Well, then, welcome to the club. I ain't a part of their club, but they may think so. So we can be deceitful to those who are evil and deceitful. We don't necessarily have to tell them the truth, you know what I mean? But we can believe in ourselves. This may not be the time to be truthful. This redneck's got a gun and holding it to my head and trying to make me believe in the great pumpkin. Mm, maybe not tonight. So, but I might go along with it and go, yeah, I believe in the great pumpkin, sure. And no damn well and good it was for my own self protection. But it lived to fight another day. So, are you lying? I'm lying to a deceitful asshole. Excuse my French or redneckedness, if you will. But excuse my vocabulary in that if it's an idiot I'm dealing with, I don't have to tell the truth. They're an idiot. But if it's somebody that I'm trying to convince and be truthful and it's very important to be honest and truthful. Can you be deceitful to an evil person? Why not? They're going to be evil and deceitful to you. Well, do you believe that the sky is purple? Yes. If you're holding a gun to my head, absolutely, sky's purple. You know, I'm colorblind. I don't know. It's just sort of a gray to me. But in that is like, if let me pose this: if Adolf Hitler walked up to you and said, "Do you believe in me?" and all that, I'd go, "Oh hell yeah," because they're going to kill me if I don't. And you say, "Well, but you should have just stood up for yourself." Oh, really? Now, which is smarter? I don't mean be a traitor, but to the point though. And would I lie to Adolf Hitler to save my own life? Oh, you betcha. But it's secretly, I'm gonna like, oh yeah, I believe in you, and I'm gonna be trying to figure out a way to off that mofo. You know what I'm talking about? So I may agree on the outside, but my inside's gonna go, I don't think so. Now it's when you give up your soul to whatever it is, when you give up your belief. Now I can lie to anybody, and if they're gonna lie to me, and they're what you know what I'm saying. So I don't feel bad about lying to them guys. If I'm in jail and the guard's like, "Well, you such and such," no, sir, officer, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. I don't know who made that liquor. It was me, but I don't know who made that hooch. Um, hmm. So there are times when it is obviously the only thing to do is to tell the truth and to be honest. But there are times when you're dealing with crazy people that you just have to get yourself out of the situation. Now, is God going to forgive you for that? Yeah, because you're dealing with an idiot. You're dealing with a moron. Yeah, and morons, they don't count. You know what I mean? But if you're dealing with real people, then be real. And self-preservation in a situation is like if somebody says, "Do you believe in Christ?" I'm saying, "Yeah." Do you believe in the Catholic Church? Oh, hell no. Well, do you believe in Christendom stuff? Well, not really, because some of these Christians are trying to get me to believe that there's only one way to heaven, and I know there's more than one. But well, but wait a minute. Well, I don't know whether to shoot you or not. Okay. Well, does that mean that you're lying about God? No, because he didn't ask me about creator. He didn't ask me about higher spiritual stuff. He's talking about the bullshit down here on this lower level. I don't care about that. I care more about the greater good. So to someone that I'm trying to save my life, would I lie? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But inside, I'm like, I'm going to lie because I need to get out of this situation and see if I can't help other prisoners or other people or something like that. Sometimes you got to do it. But we're talking very extreme circumstances, okay? I hope I kind of got that point across. And why I went off on that tangent, not sure, but it seems to be necessary. But to the people we love and to the people that we're I hate to use the word convert. It's actually unconvert, get them away from their religion and more to the spiritual side. And to understand that these people need to believe in themselves. They don't need the crutch of religion. They're spiritual beings without it, period. And it's just the truth. It's the simple truth. So, but how much do you believe it? And I can't answer that for anyone else but myself. But I trust me in this. The more you trust yourself and believe it in the things that you do, the more you will gain the confidence and your belief. It won't get more. It will just be more solid. When you reach that 100.1%, you'll go, oh, holy crap. And then from that point on, it won't get more, because how can you believe more than 100%? That point one is just that extra. But to the point, you will be filled with what you know, and it will expand your awareness, and you'll go, wow, I'm so glad I fully believe now, instead of hesitating or hedging my bet a little bit. So anyway, let me look at some of your comments here. I know I've been rattling on, just letting this thing fly, but and Chloe and Cherry, it's good to see all y'all. Thank you for the hearts, if they're meant for me or other folks, but thank you. Um, Cherry said, "Oh, something about being on your team, family." Yes, absolutely, Cherry. Um, I'm just going. Hey, just Spitfire. Just Spitfire. I'm glad you answered us. Yeah, you'd lie to Hitler, because I was thinking I'd lie like hell. Yes, there are certain times when you just gotta say, look, you gotta play the game. You gotta go on there and say, oh, sure, okay. Now that doesn't mean that I'm gonna put a gun to somebody else's head to save my own. Oh no, I'd blow my brains out first. If they said, well, now, okay, you're going to do this thing or say something, and do you believe? Oh, I believe. Yeah. There's an old joke down here in the South where back in the day, and they still do some of this too, where they take you down to the river to baptize you. So the one man, he was a little bit afraid of water, and he was like, well, what's going to happen here? So he says, well, the preacher's going to take you out there to about waist deep. And you're going to go out there, and he's going to say, now, son, do you believe? And you say, I believe, and he's going to dunk you under the water. So, and then, so every time when he does that, you just answer, I believe. And so it's like, so he wades out there into the middle of the creek, and the preacher puts his hand on his forehead and says, son, do you believe? And he dunks his head underwater. And the guy's going, just holding him down for a while. And he lets him under, goes, do you believe? Preacher, I believe. And he dunks his head down again. So bubbles, bubbles, arms flying around, and pulls him up again. Do you believe? I believe, preacher. And put him back down, and did it one more time. And on the third time, he come up. Do you believe? He said, yes, sir. I'm the preacher. I believe. I believe you're trying to drown me. So it ain't nothing about being saved. It's about, are you being drowned by the religion? But so if you're being overwhelmed with a religionist cause, and it could literally wipe out your spiritualness, but as spiritual beings that we already are, we just have to acknowledge it, study it, believe it, trust in it. And I've talked in other videos about how that you can do certain things to like make sure you're talking to your spirit guide. And I haven't mentioned this in a while, but I think it's sort of, you folks that show up all the time. Listen, this idea of contacting other spirits is still not a good idea. Stick with your own spirit guide. You'll get the correct information when you connect, and it's there. They don't lie to you. The information's always good. Oh, Cherry, you're talking about pumpkin pie. Oh, goodness gracious me! I just, there's one little tiny sliver of sweet tater pie left in the kitchen, and I don't know how long that's going to last. Just saying. Breaking dawn. But anyway, Michelle says, not sure of my skill set, but I'm smart, resourceful, imaginative, and hard working. And that's one of the things that you have to do. You have to have confidence that, you know, I might not know exactly what to do, but I'm confident I'll figure it out. That's all. Well, I don't know what the situation might be, but if the good Lord puts something in front of me, I'll work it out. Now, that's a self confidence that you can take with you anywhere because, and it doesn't mean that you're a narcissist. It's that you're confident. I don't care if the tree falls down in the yard or something. I'm going to figure out a way around it. I'll figure out how to cut it down. I'll find somebody to help me cut it. I'll figure it out. I may not know the answer, but I do know I'm confident I can figure it out. Now that has a lot to do with your belief in yourself. I may not know mathematics, but I can figure out, blah blah blah, whatever the simple thing is. I know I know what 12 inches is at the foot, and I can cut a board to that length. There are certain things that like okie doke. But in the grand scheme of the universe, Michelle, Truth in Me, good to see you. Chloe, Just Spitfire, Divine Living Man, Cherry, Chloe, I'm going back through Pumpkin King, Jack. It's good that you all are talking amongst yourself and making comments on my behalf too. Thank you all. You are wonderful people hanging out with, and and oh, and Millie Cow, I sort of missed you there. You were back up. Past few days have been different. Thank you. I'm glad to see all of you too. Yes. Blessings all out there. Big hugs, cosmic hugs always. And just for Millie Cow, since he's there in the house, brought up a very good topic, and I'm gonna use this as this will be the next video coming up, unless something else gets shoved my way that they want me to talk about first. But Millie Cow, you came up with a really good topic about um, the uh, um, um, the mental health of things and people's mental health, pills, schizophrenia. I was bipolar, and then I was this, and I was bipolar, and then I was schizophrenic, and then I've been through this gambit myself, and for going on now 30 years, or actually more than that. But I've had a lot of meds, a lot of counseling, a lot of stuff. Was Baker acted and thrown into the local state hospital for 3 days. And so yeah, I've been through some things. So I believe that I could speak on the subject. And because of all the people that I've met, counselors, people, friends of mine, relatives, I think I've got enough information to maybe answer some of the questions you may have. So in the next day or two, just kind of be aware. If you can hang out, I'll try to pick a time this seems to be a decent time when y'all can hang out, after 11 ish kind of thing. So I'll kind of sort of, hey, Jody, if I missed you before, how are you? But I think this is an important conversation because in the spiritualness of things, there are some people that hear voices and they're really hearing angels from the other side. Conversely, I've helped a couple of people out. One not fairly recent. I'm happy to say I saw him the other day and he was doing much better. But I'm here to tell you the demons were speaking through this boy. And I mean, it literally, I had to go out and do a shaman dance to bring protection because there was some strange goings on and attachments to this person. So, do I believe that there are negative entities out there? Oh, you betcha. But there is also a lot of good entities in the universe as well. But how our mental condition, what our mental condition is. How many drugs have we been taking? How many drugs haven't we taken? What have the drugs that we've taken done to our brains? Now, it took me a while after I quit taking all those crazy, I'm going to say psychedelic now, although they just call them, your local mental health pills. They were actually kind of psychedelic. because they were doing things to my brain that was making me not pay attention. And they were actually making me see things that weren't there. And then, but then when I did see things and I was like, but I was off the meds and I was like, oh, so that's really real. Oh, let me take a picture of that. Oh, okay. Where before it was like, couldn't tell if it was me or the meds or the combination. And I had to get off all of it to understand that the crazy part of it was the meds for me. Now, but again, Millie Cow, that's going to be a separate discussion, but it might get quite involved, and I'm going to be kind of sort of watching the chat room more than I have been tonight. I'm sorry, folks. I just had to get this out and without being interrupted, because the upstairs folks are like, you got to help them out with this, Hawkeye. You got to help them to believe in themselves. You got to help them find that they are true spirit beings. And you got to give them confidence, that they can do it too. And so here I am. And I know you can do it. Y'all are proving it to yourselves. That's what's so cool from my point of view. It maybe I help stimulate it, but you guys are doing the work. You all are doing the work to get her done. So yeah, I love you all. I do. So just Spitfire, I'm coming in as a late bloomer, blindfolded with the Swan tape. I just wished I had a inkling of what's coming, or even better, where I've come from, who I came from, if that makes sense. Just Spitfire, understanding where we come from is important. But the thing is that sometimes when you find out where you come from, it may not make any sense. So you've done all the homework to find out where you come from when it's like it didn't really matter. It's where are we going that makes the difference. Yes, where we've come from and our background and all that, our back history is important. But does it really matter about our future? So understanding our background is important, but is it so important that we forget to move forward instead of looking backwards? And I was guilty of this, so I can speak about this for myself. I was looking backwards so much, I wasn't looking forward. Where did I come from? What does all this mean? And I was missing the point. You're here now, dummy. That's what. It was like, you're here now, dummy. Pay attention. Doesn't matter if you was adopted and what your mother did and what the family did. And in the end of it, it didn't really. I spent all this time there are volumes of stuff that my family did to hide the fact that I was adopted by my uncle and this. It's nutso. I mean, they even lied about a brother that was adopted from my mother and that none of us kids knew about. He popped up after Dolores died, and I'm your brother. What? So, talk about lies in the family and trusting issues, and oh boy, we got them. But so for me, and to try to, descramble all this stuff, what I realized after I went through it all, it didn't matter. I was actually kind of disappointed because I was like, I'm going to learn something here. And what I learned was they lied to me. They lied to my brothers and sisters, and but they lie. Oh my God, the lies. And it's like in the cover. Yeah, what? Hey, you got it, Michelle. And so I look back and I go, now it's just interesting. But looking backwards kept me from moving forward. Who am I now? What is my present situation? Okay, I came from this and that, but yeah, but what do I want to do now? Because if I'm being aware, then I must be aware it ain't the past that's important. It's where I move from this point forward that is important. Regardless of who, where I come from, what's important is what am I now? I'm a spiritual being. I have a soul. I am a part of this universe. Do you understand those basic facts? Then you know where you are. Now, to expand upon that, that's the future. And just Spitfire, just to say, I asked to see the future. Beware. Because now, when they showed it to me, I can't take it back. And some of that stuff is horrendous, atrocious, and you don't really want to know. Be careful of what you wish for. Oh, I wish I knew what was coming. Maybe not. What you should plan for is whatever's coming, I've got the confidence I'll figure it out one way or the other. That's how you build. How am I a prepper? I'm a woodsman. I've been a woodsman all my life. So I know tricks and things that are just like second nature to me where other people have to think about it. So it's like, okay, but I can't bake a cake. Okay. I can't bake a cake. So, but I can start a fire when it's wet outside. I can do these, but I can't bake a cake. So I'm not good at everything. I gotta, But to the thing, what are we strongest? We work on our strong points. We work on trusting ourselves that what, and maybe we put ourselves into slight situations like go camping. Okay, just take a few things. Don't even take a tent. Take a tarp, a sleeping bag, or something. Yeah, no, if it's freezing outside and there's a snowstorm, no, obviously, but put yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable. In other words, you might have to lean up against a tree to use the toilet. Okay. Put yourself out of your comfort zone and adapt because that's the training you need. When you're out of your comfort zone, you find out things about yourself. Wow, I didn't know I could figure out how to do that. I didn't know that I could build a latrine with a couple of logs and some twigs. I didn't know that I could blah blah. It's amazing what you find out. But if you never put yourself, and I don't mean harm's way, I just mean inconvenience. You know, I'm inconvenienced, but I'll take a bucket with me. Because if I gotta go, I'm tired of just leaning up against a tree. I'm smart enough to take a bucket if I go to the deep woods. I'm gonna plan ahead. So it doesn't mean that you can't plan ahead, but don't take the kitchen sink for crying out loud. Take a bucket, one to poo in and one for water and dishes. And they fit inside each other. And you can put them in the back seat and put stuff in them. I mean, um, and just take a couple of cans of baked beans or something, or a box of Fruit Loops or something, and a couple of cans of fruit or dried fruit or something, and just go somewhere and be content. What? And be content with the simple things, because that's how you learn more about yourself. If you have all these conveniences, you don't know who you are because all the conveniences keep you from being who you are. Anyway, but I've got a bathroom call, and when the bathroom call, us old men with prostate issues, when it says bathroom, you gotta go. Um, Truth in me says I gave away some rooms. Just Spitfire. Maybe they just want to be heard and believe that they are around me and not on the other side of some gate with Peter. That could very well be true, just Spitfire. Billy Cow says Rune Secrets is my go-to source for learning about the elder. Be careful with Rune. Listen, let me give this little warning to all of you all who may use any type of divining device. Okay, it's only good for that moment. What do I mean? You read the cards, it's only good for that moment because tomorrow everything's changed. There's 7 billion people on this planet. So if you've been shown something in the cards or the runes, tomorrow may be different because all of the other paradigms are evolving. So what you see today in the runes or the thing or the stuff may not necessarily be the same in a week's time. So, and I was guilty of this. And then I had some spiritual guidance, and they were like, you can't be asking this all the time because every day is a different day. So the situation changes every day. Today, this might happen, but with timelines and energies and cosmic rays and dust, it may not be true tomorrow, the next day. But there are some things that, regardless of the timeline, is going to happen. Like Mother Earth, she is expanding, she is in a cycle, and we're just going to have to just hang on, folk. And being, paranoid or overly, whatever is not going to help the situation because we just make the situation worse by believing tragedy is going to befall us at every turn. In fact, they're asking me to um, how we're not dead yet. There are still people. Planet X is still around. Oh, they've got new evidence. I'm sorry. And I was a Planet Xer back in the day. Oh, well, now this is going to kill us. Now that's going to kill us. And the thing about the reset and the money. Well, all of these things are crumbling. The banks are going under. But they haven't yet. There's a lot of restructuring going on, but all of these catastrophes that for the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years that some of these folks have been babbling about, has any of it come true? Any of it? Some of it has. The bank restructuring is some of that stuff. Oh, but we're all going to get money. We're all going to get our Social Security. We're all going to get money back from the Vatican. We're all going to get these things. Things are going to come out of the sky. The aliens are going to come and going to heal us all. I'm still waiting on that one. You know what I'm saying? Now I still am open to it, but am I going to like? Oh my God, I'm waiting for tomorrow. It's going to happen. There's still people with waiting on pins and needles for this thing to come down. Well, but the dinar and the this and the that, has any of that mess come true yet? Not much. Just saying. Has any of the stuff that some of these pastors, the apocalypse, the death warnings that we're all going to die? Yeah, at some point. Some of us sooner than later. And if you step in front of a bus, your ticket might be punched right there. No pun intended with the hitting of the butt. Anyway. But to the idea, though, that yes, we're all going to die. But to this apocalypse stuff, oh my God, there's still people trying to convince the rest of us this is going to happen any day now. Yeah, okay. It's going to happen every day. Yeah, okay. And I was one of those people 5 years ago. And then I started having spiritual awareness and going, maybe this is a bunch of crap. Now, there are things going on about, the way the money has been dealt with is changing. Russia and China trying to get rid of the US dollar. They want to be able to trade with each other without having to use the American dollar. Thumbs up to that. This fiat thing and all this, but our world's going to crumble. Are we all going to die tomorrow? Is this system going to crash? Where's the evidence, my friends? Now, could it still happen? It's possible. But at the moment, it's becoming a little bit extremely unlikely it's going to end that. Oh, 2 years ago, we were supposed to be in a civil war by now, right? Buy your guns. Trump's the thing. We're all the blah. We're going to be in a. And we haven't started a war yet. If anything, people gotten a little bit more. Some folks have gotten a little bit more peaceable and go, well, okay. And the idea that we're going to war with everybody, we're not, North Korea, okay. So the chunky guy over there, he's a little strange, but and things over in the Middle East. There's always going to be trouble in the Middle East. We need to come home and leave them folks to their own devices. Seriously. But to the point though but it ain't like the George Bush days with the thing and the this and the that. Things have changed. A lot of things have been backed off on. And it's a general tone around the world. We're tired of this nonsense. That's a true fact. We're tired of people lying to us. That's a true fact. And we're tired of people shoving crap down our throats over and over and over again, thinking that the same thing's going to convince us when we've already seen the same thing 12 times. So, this idea of the apocalypse, the thing, the stuff, that's the chaos they're still selling. And unfortunately, some of the people that I 5, 6, 7 years ago, I listened to and I was like, wow, this person got, but then they keep going in this loop. They're not gaining anything. They're not gaining any ground. And in fact, if anything, they're still in this loop. And I got into a loop, and after a while, I was like it was like being in a rocko plane going around and around in a tub, And it's like I've been around. I saw the floor go by 3 or 4 times now. I think I'm in a loop. But if you're not aware of your surroundings, then you will never know that you're in a time loop, that you're or a spiritual loop or whatever that loop may be. An alcoholic, drug abuse, something, but you will find yourself in a loop. But if you are unaware of yourself or of your surroundings, you will never know that you're in a loop. So being by yourself, having that hermit time, and it just take a weekend, take one night, and you can go with a friend. It doesn't mean that you have to like be by yourself, but be inconvenienced. Take yourself out of your normal whatever it is and go just go be. Yeah, just go be. You don't have to plan anything. Okay, well, I'm going to go hiking. Okay, find some running water. Go find a stream. Go find a lake. Go, yeah, okay. But when you get there, the thing that you should plan on is finding. Even though you can have other people around you, you find solitude with yourself. And the solitude doesn't mean loneliness. The solitude is like a serenity, like strength. I'm comfortable with myself. I'm good here. Cosmic hugs to Hawkeye. And now I can go out and play and include other people. My friends, you are beautiful. You are. Thank you for sharing who you are with each other and with me. All of let's see. Jody says 12-point star to talk to orb, specifically the purple orb. I probably don't know what that means. As a child, I saw. Oh, I see. I had to go back up one. I saw a purple orb to be appearing around the age 6 or 7. I taught how to use runes and Hebrew symbols to talk to orbs. Each symbol has several meanings, but also how to use a 12-point star to talk to the orbs. Okay. Truth of Me says, I quit drinking 5 months ago. I would love to do that, but would need a sitter because I would like to be on my own. Truth of Me, depending on how young the person is, you don't have to be alone. You just have to take yourself out of a comfort zone. And because I used to take my son back when we'd just jump in the car and go, and I'd take him to the mountains. And boy, some of the things that we've seen done and had and whatever, just by just being in weird places. Just Fitfire. That's why I want to ask your spirit guides if it's okay for me to go away for a little break. I want to get back to me, and I have no voice. Whereat, unless much must left have an opinion. Home is my comfort zone. Um, just Spitfire. The message they're sending me to you right now, just Spitfire, is this. They're saying that you already have a something in the back of your head you know about, and that you need to follow up on it. So I don't know what that means because it's meant for you, but they're saying that that getting back to yourself. Um, how do I put this? Well, like everyone, we already have, how can I do it on my own? By trusting yourself, by believing in yourself, by trusting in your spirit guide. You know, well, we've had conversations before and about the rocks and things and stuff. But see, you were led to some of those things. And I told you back then, you need to trust yourself in some of that. So you just need to allow that trust to manifest itself within your own self. So follow, if you have this little inkling, like, I don't know, I should go over here, that follow it. Now, if it's going to get you into trouble or you're going to be trespassing or something, but if it's something that is like, that's how I know that my spirit guide won't send me on a wild goose chase. Now, there's been a couple of times as I go wander over here and I go, I don't see it, but okie dokie, I may not be paying attention myself. But most of the time, when spirit leads me somewhere, I mean, sometimes it's to save a person from a burning vehicle, and other times it's to pick up a feather that was left by a bird, and other times it's other found things, deer antlers, messages, whatever. So, but you have to trust in yourself. So, you say I know I can do it on my own. Exactly. Knowing that you can. Now, how to do it will be shown to you. But if you're always in your comfort zone, you already know what to expect. So if you're sitting in your living room and doing your thing, you're comfortable. When you take yourself out of your comfort zone, and I don't mean you got to put yourself in a rain event and you're about to die from flood and that. No, I'm saying just go put yourself out of your normal situation, even if it's for an afternoon. Just take yourself out of the comfort zone, because in that you learn more about yourself. I, it just works. Okay. Cherry, Chloe, yes, to feel needed is important too. I'm not afraid to say I like to be needed and cared for and cared back. Just fit fire. Dr. Phil would call it a dual diagnostic place. That's where I think I should be. That's not doing it on my own. Um, Spirit's telling me, just fit fire, you got to trust yourself. You got to have faith in yourself. Truth of me says, I'm having you do the opposite being around people. Sometimes. Divine living. I will tell you a group of people that I have always kept to myself and have never told anyone else. It sticks with and to me always, like PTSD. Okay. Um, Sometimes the truth we seek is right here. But because we're seeking it, we keep looking and we keep seeking and we keep looking. When sometimes when we take ourselves out of our comfort zone, we see a different realm of reality. We see a different world, which stimulates our brain in different ways. And if you trust yourself and your belief, then you'll know that wherever you're sitting, like it feels, this looks like a nice spot for a picnic. You're following your intuition. This looks like a nice place to sit and look at the river. You're following your intuition. You're following your spirit guide. Something led you to a spot on the river, and this feels like a good spot to sit. It is, because you found it. You sought it out. Your spirit needed it, and you followed your intuition and went there. Some people ignore that, but that's what it's all about. So just spitfire in that. You just need to take some of what you already know and follow what you've already sort of followed. Trust yourself. Don't get into trouble, but trust yourself and see where it leads you. Because a lot of folks are going to be surprised when they just stop and listen to what's already been given to them. Now, y'all have hung out with me for quite a while on many different subjects about this, and this is not on the test, but how many of you folk have just gone out somewhere and just let not just my conversation, but just let some of this just sink in without any external anything? Now you can take a child along and you can picnic and you can be outside and but it's out of your normal comfort zone. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It just has to be out of your normal comfort zone. But when you do that, even with another person, but you're outside, you can allow this to come in. And if you go with the intent that, you know what, I'm leaving all this other crap behind. I'm just going to allow the energy to flow through me and let my own thoughts like manifest. Now, now there have been times when I've been out in the lake in the middle of the night and a question will come to me. And it might take 2 months for the answer to actually manifest itself. But after it manifested itself, I realized I had the answer all the time. That's what's annoying. That's breaking Dawn's over here going, oh, she's giggling and laughing. But yeah, when you realize, holy shit, I had the answer the whole time, but I was so busy doing all this other stuff, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. It's like I've watched movies before, and then later on, I'll think about a certain scene that kind of like sticks in my head, and I go, "What? Oh, now I get the joke! Holy crap!" It might be 2, 3 days later, and it's like I get the joke or something. And so with the spirituality thing, there's so much that's already there, but it we have to put ourselves in that other place. And like I say, it doesn't have to be a nasty place but just get out your house. It could be you go in your backyard. It could be that simple. But take yourself out of the comfort zone. If I'm here in the house too much, I have to get out. I mean, even though there's all these windows and I feel like I'm outside a lot of the times because there's so many windows, I still got to get out because it's like I have gotten stuck in my own comfort zone, even down here in the swamp, which is dry at the moment. But even down here in the woods, it's like no, 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 no. If I'm sore and cranky and I'm hurting really bad and I'm having trouble walking, I'm at least going to make it to the front door and stand in the sunlight or the rain because I need to change my locale at that time. And sometimes it's just walking outside, period. I don't mean go on a walk. I mean, just get outside and sit on the porch. How many of us just, you know, sometimes that's all that's necessary, you know? But if we don't we have to make some sort of effort. Doesn't have to be a lot, but we got to make the effort. It'll come to us. Now, I'd like to know how y'all do with some of this stuff at a future date because it can't all be fixed in a moment's thought. Um, I guess because everyone around here say no, you don't need to go to one of those places is maybe why I want to go so bad. Just Spitfire, that may be the reason why you got to go. Just saying. If you're being drawn to something, now there are times when I have, trespassed on a piece of property because I was led to it, but I was always careful not to be destructive, not cutting any fences or anything. But I'm always aware also, I'm trespassing. This ain't my place. And so I must be respectful and so forth. And I also ask my guardian to say, let me know if anybody's coming, so I can duck, run or whatever it may be, but I try not to, go in places where it's again, where I'm trespassing, but I have done it and I've been caught a few times and I've told people, what are you doing here? I'm walking. Why? Well, I'm long hair, old hippie. I got a hat on and a walking stick. I'm looking for medicinal herbs. Well, you're on private property. Well, I was hoping I didn't know that anybody would mind. I'm just walking, and I'm not carrying a gun or anything like that. Maybe I got my little fanny pack on, a satchel or a little bag for collecting samples. But so, well, you are trespassing, but we want okay. So you leave. I've never been arrested for trespassing, although it come really close a couple of times. Of course, back then I was picking mushrooms in a cow field, and they knew it. But other times I was honestly I was just walking through some property because I was drawn there, and but if I explain myself, if and when I got caught, that was my intent. So I wasn't. My intent sort of guarded me in a way because they knew I wasn't there for an ill intent. You know, if you're up to mischief, somebody's going to notice. But anyway, Truth in Me says, I have stood on a chair and wrote down these issues. I missed something. But anyway, Chloe, just fit fire. Only you know what you need. Do what you know what will be best for you. Yep. All of us can give you an advice. But until you actually, none of us really know what you should do except follow your instincts. And if your instincts are true and you've had enough practice with them, then follow them. See where it leads you. There may be, and I say a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, in that there may be something really damned useful that comes to you, or you may actually find something physical. Who knows? But with that though, that gut, yeah, that gut feeling, you got to trust it. And you got to learn to trust it. And I've given other videos and I've talked about, doing the astral projection, lay down in a room, then get up and walk into the room, do the thing about the alarm, about a clock and telling time, learning how to use your third eye with being able to see with your fingertips. And, all these things are, one might call them tricks, but they're tools to the trade of learning about your spirituality. There are some folks that still may think that you doing this thing with your fingers and your thumb and and doing this. No, it's not. It's not stupid. I'm banging on this thing with a hammer, never hit myself with it. Now watch, I'll go out tomorrow to fix it and I'll bust a knuckle. But so much for that. But yeah, the Reagan Dawn says, hold up, me too. It really hurts. But the idea though is that you have to trust yourself to know these things. Confidence, being self-assured, without being a narcissist. Well, I'm the greatest at this. Well, okay, but that's where the humbleness keeps you in check. Whoops, never finished my thought. I look at the issue from the view of the chair, and sometimes info comes to me. Understood. Yeah, Michelle, don't jinx yourself. Good point. Let's see. Yeah, Cherry says, yes, I love nature foraging, make herbal tea, create good intention to bring positive back. And if you get caught in somebody else's field doing that, and you say, would you like for me to make you some tea? I'll come over. So if you get caught where you're not supposed to be honest. Now, if I was looking for mushrooms, I would not say that, but I would say I'm looking for medicinal herbs, which mushrooms could be considered that. So, it's not really a lie, but you don't tell the whole truth kind of thing. But anyway, truth of me, David, no, that is knocking on the bathroom door. I'll have to run. I appreciate you all. Yeah. Okie doke. And I'm going to have to run too, because I'm sitting here like trying to hold my kidneys together with Will. And Will's about to let go. All right, Will. Anyway, I'll leak on the floor. Cherry, I thrive when I'm around people who care, appreciate my skills, and willing to help, like helping with kids, feed the chickens, share a pot of soup, working closer to home, making a living. Yes. Oh, that sounds like a dream. Yeah, I'm going to be growing my own herbal garden, forest garden, and herbs. Yep. Way back in the day, they called them a victory garden during this, the Depression and during the World War II. And even going back to World War I, but back in the time of World War I, people had gardens. They don't have gardens around down here in the South anymore. People just don't. It's too convenient to have their own, or to go out and buy it anymore. Um, but anyway, so yes, thank you all for participating. Thank you all for being who you are. And yes, we help each other in the best ways we can. So, my friends, it's a bathroom break, and it's also a little bit of a butt cramp, too, my friends. um, I got room for a tiny house down here. Tried to convince somebody one time before that to put up a shack down here in the woods, that I wanted to build a small community, but yeah, well, Breaking Dawn's the first one to actually take me up on the damned offer up to a point. So, but anyway, my friends, I really do must head to do the running thing. So I'm closed with a prayer. Y'all keep up your good work. I am your humble host, Hawkeye Two Feathers. And I always pray that each and every one of you will accept and receive the honor, the gifts, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the healing from the universe. I continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue your efforts of accepting and receiving these gifts from the universe. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue to accept, receive, and share your knowledge and the gifts that you are already learning that's already there in the universe. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your participation in this planetary universal thing that we're doing. Cheers, everyone. Breaking Dawn, myself, stay warm, stay healthy, always be compassionate, always be honest, at least with yourself. We can lie to the liars. It's okay. God will forgive us for it. And so I love you all. Thank you. Chloe, Divine, Cherry, Truth in Me, Michelle, on up the line. I love you. I do. Thank you. I got to go pee. Millie Cow, your conversation and discussions coming up soon. I hope you can participate. Till next time, I love you all. We love you all. Thank you. Cosmic Hugs and TTFN from South Georgia. Bye now.